Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard the Wright Flyer. As always, this is your captain, Randy Wright speaking. I'd like to take this opportunity to personally thank you for choosing to fly the friendly airwaves with us here on our state of the art radio program at Radio Aviation Excellence, the Wright Flyer. Well, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, let's go ahead and delve into the topic for discussion today. And it's a big one. It's an ugly one because the Biden administration has issued certain medical guidelines or guidance, which is allowing one of the factors that is utilized to calculate risk factors as being race or ethnicity. It's it's bizarre. This sort of thing is truly bizarre because one of the things that they say here, one of the risk factors, which is not scientifically supported, it's not supported by the general guidance of the medical community, is that of non white or Hispanic uh, Latino ethnicity should be considered a risk factor as long standing systemic health and social inequities have contributed to an increased risk of severe illness and death from COVID 19. This is from their memo. This is from their entire apparatus and argument. And it's disgusting. It's truly disgusting because they are making a non scientific argument based on race, claiming that because of past inequities, because of past discrimination, this is a perfect reason as to how we should implement medical treatment and healthcare decisions. That is violative of the clear and concise language within the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause. This is the sort of madness that the left has been doubling down on. It's the same type of nonsense that led to the fiery but mostly peaceful protests that we saw at the height of the 2020 riots. And it goes to show that they are doing everything within their power to try and tear this nation apart, to try and put us in a weakened position. And of course, it's all based on divide and conquer. They're using immutable characteristics that people don't have control over in order to punish them. They're doing this to basically sow the seeds of hatred and animosity in the hearts, souls, and minds of American citizens from all walks of life. And why? It's because they want to engage in this collectivization, identity politics, critical race theory, all of these things that the Democrats have embraced and have really been championing is designed to pit American citizen against American citizen. They want us to hate each other. They want us to be at each other's throats. And this is all by design. It is designed to make this nation weaker. And again, it's interesting that there haven't been any challenges to this, but I'm fairly certain there will be. And more than just that, I have a feeling that some of the challenges that we're going to see will be on 14th Amendment grounds. See, for instance, we see that there are already two states that are doing this, New York and Utah, in which they've issued their own guidelines. For the one from Utah, it says that the distribution of monoclonal antibodies in the state to residents who are non-white race or Hispanic, and then they even use that sort of woke language that I'm not going to use because most of the Latinos I know hate it. Uh, Latino ethnicity received 2 additional points when calculating their COVID risk 19 score. So this is discrimination based on race. In generations past, this was decried and rightly decried. This is going against all of the things that the civil rights era claimed that it was for, that we would be judging people not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Well, that's been totally thrown out the window. This is racism, plain and simple. And they are using racism to play with your health care. People should not be discriminated against based on race. What should be there for determining what sorts of treatments are necessary is a line item scientific approach. Everyone should be able to receive whatever treatments they need. And keep in mind that these are the same ones who sat there for a long time prohibiting Florida from having monoclonal antibody treatments because of political aggrandizement. And this is why. This is why. This is the very sort of thing that they have been wanting to set up this entire time. And it's disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting to see this sort of chicanery. But it's not surprising. It's not surprising because we've seen the Democrats do this over and over and over again to the point of it reaching ad nauseum. Ladies and gentlemen, again, this is the type of thing we need to consider going into the midterm elections this November. This is the sort of chicanery that cannot be tolerated in modern America. Democrats ought to be ashamed of themselves for this, and there ought to be universal condemnation against this sort of nonsense. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for tuning in today. I hope to see you again next time. Please do take care.